Welcome to the Healthy Metal Hippie Podcast, where art and wellness collide. Well, hi, and welcome back to the Healthy Metal Hippie. Today, we're talking about dreams. Not your bedtime dreams. I mean, we could talk about your bedtime dreams, but today we're talking about your life dreams, your life goals, and what keeps us going forward on the path towards them, or what stops us from continuing to work towards them. And this is a big subject. And as we progress through life, our dreams and our goals, they change. Sometimes I see that there are different variations of the same goal. I see that maybe the goal was something here, and now it's actually a much bigger scope, which is really cool. Sometimes we get pulled completely away from what our dreams are. I saw something online a couple months ago about how we all kind of revert back to who we were at 14 years old or something like that, which I think in some ways is kind of true, where it seems like that seems to be this sweet spot. I don't know if this is scientific, but it seems to have some accuracy, okay? Where there's this sweet spot of us just being ourselves and being authentic. No, we didn't know it all. We'll never know it all. But there's something about those pieces of you that you held really dear. I know for me, there were bits of my teenage years that I threw away. And I went, no, that can't be me, because that's not what is expected of me. That wouldn't be proper, and that wouldn't be right. And I could never. Oh, goodness me. No, I could never. Yeah, well, I think as we get older, we go, oh, what were we all about? We reconnect with those things when we feel that we've gone like too far astray from them. So we're always going, that was a piece of me that I miss, that I have wondered where it wandered off to over the years. Can we leave the ones that we don't want, and we take back the pieces of us that we want? I've probably talked about it on different episodes, or maybe different things I've written online, but I always had this goal that I wanted to be some kind of singer or songwriter in the arts, doing something with music. I could see myself sat with an acoustic guitar playing to my little crowds poetry. And over the years, I've let pieces of that go. I've forgotten that poetry side of me. I've forgotten the songwriting side of me. Over the past few years, it's also come back to me that I still want to release music. I still want to make music. And it's surprising, because I thought, I let that go a long time ago. But when I think about it, I didn't let it go. I've put it on the back burner, and that's okay too. My focus is primarily on helping other artists. So over the years, we end up coming back to ourselves. I mean, I always hope that people didn't lose those sides of themselves, that they actually look back and go, "Oh, that was cool." I hope that most people didn't. But if you are like me and you lost parts of that for various reasons, I hope that you are working to find it again. I think it comes down to our really deepest desires and what we want for ourselves and what we want out of life. And when we're maybe resetting our lives and planning for a new future, and we're planning for growth, I think it's really helpful to look back, reflect on those times, dig deep, reflect on who you were and who you are inherently, and what your actual big first dream was. For me, it was speaking to people's souls through music. And I'm sure on this podcast and different posts, different podcasts, you've heard me talk about that. I've just kind of always been that way, always writing, always creating. Along with it, it's come through so clearly and so simply that I want to be a part of the impact that art makes on people's well-being and people's lives, bringing positive change while working with all the people that I do. We can connect with that first dream and find that it is our self in our purest form. And probably that it goes a lot deeper than we even realized at the beginning. I still look at my dream, the first dream, the releasing music, the writing poetry, that, that side of me. I still look at it as expressing myself in a way that feels so open, so freeing, yet also so safe, and finding safety within that, where many times through various experiences in life, I felt that it was unable to do that. It was not safe to do that. It was not acceptable. But the best part is, as I continue through life, I do find myself more aligned with that person. The one that knows it's safe to speak up. The one that likes to poke a little bit, to make people think, to help myself grow, to challenge the norm, to think outside the box, to push and promote peace and love. As I talk about this, I also feel quite sad. I think about how many times we take away permission from ourselves, that we're not allowed to do certain things because whatever limits we've put on our own selves, or what we feel that other people have put on us, or what they actually have put on us. It's freeing when you're able to look at it and recognize those patterns and recognize the changes that you are making in them, and recognize that you can give yourself permission to continue with that first dream. You can give yourself permission to build new dreams. You can give yourself permission to build a whole damn new life if you want. And that's something that's so special. And it's like this second life. It's a second opportunity to take that first chance back, because those self-limiting beliefs, those barriers that we put upon ourselves, they're real, and they stop us from achieving all the things that we ever dreamed of. Something that keeps coming up for me is this reminder: don't let the voices in your head stop you from doing the things that you want to do. I think most of us out there are around to impact positivity, to impact change, to impact self-growth and community growth. Don't let yourself get in the way of that. And oh my God, do I ever? Yeah, I think we all do a little bit, whether it's imposter syndrome, whether it's not believing in yourself. Maybe you're just having a difficult experience at this point in your life. We are usually the first ones to get in the way of ourselves, even if we don't want to see it or admit it. I've had so many times in my last almost 39 years that I have been hit with different barriers for so many reasons. And, and some of them I've talked about on here, some of them I have not, and maybe some of them I never will. But like with any situation or any circumstances thrown at you, it's about how you deal with them. And it's about how you push forward and how you align yourself with you. Sometimes we just can't. And that's also an acceptable answer. But we make progress, and we keep training ourselves and bettering ourselves, and we keep learning about ourselves. And the more we learn about ourselves, the more we learn about other people, the more we experience life, the more that we are prepared to grow and reach out and grab all those things that we want. So I'm curious, have you left your first dream behind? Why did you leave yours behind? And is it something that still aligns with your values? Is it something that still aligns with the core of you? Or have you actually completely changed? Do you feel completely comfortable with letting go of that first dream? I always think it sparks a little bit of magic in us, even if we can sit and ponder it for a while. I also wanted to be a bunny. That was one of my big dreams. Not that kind of bunny. I was 5. But when I think about my bunny dreams, I think, it's fitting too. Imagination, hopping around and feeling at peace. I think that's what I really felt like with being a bunny. So some of my dreams, the original ones, the first dream, I'm going back to. I feel thankful because I feel aligned with myself and finding the pieces of myself that I left in the past that I actually really wanted to take to the future. So are you catching up with your old self? Are you finding your first dream? Or are you building new dreams and building a new life based on who you are today? Let me know. I'm really curious. I'm sending super love to you and have an amazing day. Thanks so much for joining us on the Healthy Mental Hippie podcast. For more ways to connect, go to www.healthymentalhippie.com.